Only the mind of Al Gore could conceive such a creature as the one occupying the burrow behind me. Specifically, this is a nesting burrow, and I've managed to clear out the vegetation that was blocking the entrance from predators so you guys can get a better look. As you can see from the CCTV I've installed, inside there are several dead ends and narrow pathways, all currently plugged up till Mum returns. Ah, look, there she is. Squeezing through the narrow gaps is the closest thing Mum has to a towel, helping keep the important chamber at the end dry. The two alien eggs she calls children have managed to tear through their shells, and are reliant on her to turn them into something that isn't utterly helpless. She doesn't have nipples, and instead sweats out milk through the mammary glands on her belly for the fingernail-sized younglings to lap up. The only reasons Mum will leave the nest while the kids are dependent are to forage for food and relieve the waste. The burrow would get very dirty otherwise. It's now been about 3.5 to 4 months without any direct sunlight. As for the young platypuses, they've been making themselves comfortable in their new watery environment. Their body temperature's 5 degrees below mine, which is one of the reasons why their feet aren't freezing in the river right now. There's heaps of salties in the warmer north, so I'm covering the colder southeastern regions of Australia instead. The platypuses are bigger here as well. Because I want to take a closer look at them, I got here early to set up some opera house traps. These are actually illegal across most of Australia as they're so good at catching platypuses, but I'm a YouTuber in a foreign country, so the normal laws don't apply. So far all I've caught are these useless yabbies, but... oh wait. Got 'em. I want to show you this cool trick. Look. UV light makes their fur glow. It's called biofluorescence. Scientists are still unsure of the exact reason for this. And whilst we're here, may as well show you that these duck-like bills are actually soft and pliable, and covered in really sensitive skin. Although fully independent, it's not quite a grown mature adult yet, at only around half the weight and 3/4 of the length. Meaning, it's important to put it back quickly so it can get on with bulking. As they swim, the incredibly dense guard hairs and underfur flatten, trapping a layer of insulating air underneath, waterproofing the platypus. Unlike every other mammal it's been studied in, they have spherical hollow melanosomes in their fur, which are pigment structures typically only found in birds. Unlike in birds, where they can produce a rainbow of bright colours, they only produce mud brown in platypuses, helpful to camouflage into murky waters. If I place the camera underwater, we can watch as the numerous small invertebrates are relocated to the platypus's cheek pouches for storage. If we zoom in closer, we can see that, despite the white fur looking otherwise, the eyes, along with the ears and nostrils, are all closed up. Every time a muscle contracts, it fires out an electrical field that can be picked up by the 40,000 electroreceptors in a platypus's bill. Along with the over 40,000 pulse rods detecting water pressure changes and using the time difference between both signals for distance calculations, it's easy to pinpoint exactly where it's worth shoving their faces. As it makes its way to the surface, it swims like it's paralysed from the waist down, relying fully on its webbed front feet for propulsion. Their beaver-like tails are actually furry, and along with storing some excess energy, are used for steering and braking along with the back feet. Once the cheek pads are full, the contents need to be ground down into an edible paste. But platypuses don't have teeth, since confusing the scientific community took evolutionary precedent. Instead, they use their tough keratin grinding pads at the back of their jaws to mash up the tough exoskeletons of their prey, potentially even using some of the gravel scooped up to help, though this may just be an inconvenience. I would say they can now stomach the meal, but they don't really need to. Due to their high-frequency, low portion-sized diet, as well as hard-shelled prey that would neutralise acid anyway, their stomachs were deemed unnecessary, reducing to a slight expansion in the digestive tract before their dinner heads practically straight to the intestines. After a 10-hour overnight shift, the platypus will have reached its 20% of body weight macro goal and will be ready to call it a day. Having yet again failed at hunting a ptarmigan, breakfast is going to be honey and butter campfire bread as I watch the night worker clock out. Land to a platypus is like soul sand to a Steve, as their side-of-body limb placement leads to a slower reptilian gait, requiring around 30% more energy than swimming. To make it even harder, they walk on their knuckles, curling their front feet inward to protect the swim webbing, while simultaneously exposing their sharp claws. Each day is like surviving first night, where platypuses have to dig out a dirt burrow to avoid any nasty surprises. These aren't as complex as the nesting ones though. As a human, when I'm not sleeping on rocks, usually about 25% of my nightly slumber is in REM sleep, for my big brain. But despite being much smaller, the platypus sets an animal kingdom record with 60% of their up to 16-hour nap. The reasoning as to why is not fully understood. Wait, what's happening? Okay, so it turns out YouTubers actually aren't above the law here. I've just spent almost 2 years in an Australian prison, which, to be honest, I think was a bit excessive. I mean, I wouldn't have reacted like that if I knew he meant flip-flops. But I'm back now, and it's perfect timing. Your boy's all grown up, having hit maturity at around 2 years old, and he's ready to show the world what he's made of. He wasn't that hard to find again, as male platypuses typically have an up to 9-mile home range along a stretch of river. Females have even less. He's currently rubbing his scent glands on nearby objects, likely to establish his territory and attract mates. But he's got to be careful, because he's not the only one who wants to do so. In male platypuses, a gland on their upper thigh produces venom that can be dispensed through a hollow spur on their back legs. Although not fatal to humans, it can cause excruciating pain, and is thought to be a tool to fight off rival males during breeding season. Speaking of, guys, I think these two are about to fight. This is awesome, and I'm going to get it all on camera. Oof. Oof. Go on, get him. That's right. 1, 2. Ah, awesome kick. Oh, close. Go on, get back up. Ooh, look who showed up. Yeah, go on, use the chair. I think that's it. He's out. We have a winner. That was sick. Can't believe I got it. The camera died. The victorious male has now earned the right to pursue one of the females overlapping his home range, by swinging up behind her and grasping her tail. Though it really looks like she wants to get away, scientists ensure that this is actually the mating ritual, and she's just testing him, so he should definitely keep trying. See, they've moved into the love donut formation, both grabbing each other's tails, which means she's happy to go ahead with him. I'm now back after nearly a month to watch the new single mother hard at work, filling the freshly dug nesting burrow with vegetation for essential humidity and temperature control. Don't worry, I managed to get in there when she wasn't looking and placed a discreet hidden camera so we can have a look inside. Platypuses are one of 2 species still in existence that are known as monotremes, essentially mammals that lay eggs. In this case, 2 or 3, 2/3 of an inch leathery eggs. You can see mum curl around them to incubate, something she only has to do for 10 days before she starts oozing milk out her belly. And thus ends the cycle of life. 4 months later, the kids are off on their own, and mum's back to the solitary life, digging out burrows for one. But unfortunately, she's waking up to a nasty surprise. The platypus's equivalent of emergency roadworks is finding out the river they thought they could use has either changed its path or dried up, leaving them as vulnerable as ever. Although some threats like Aboriginal Australians hunting for food, or Europeans hunting for not a single valid reason, are no longer an issue, there are still many very real threats, from starvation and overheating to various different predators, both natural and introduced. However hard it may be to watch the poor thing struggle, I sadly can't step in to help, as it's just nature running its course. To interfere would potentially disrupt the delicate balance of the ecosystem and lead to unintended consequences, which, unfortunately, is a risk I'm unable to take.